It's been a while. I've been stuck here in the zone for a couple months at least. It's been since May, so I don't really know. I don't know where to go. They've been phasing my food in. They've been teleporting it in, but they don't really know what food is, like what a meal is. So they just kind of send me whatever they find around. Oh, like right here. That's not a meal, that's just rice. So yeah, this is what I kind of been dealing with here. All I can really do here is watch CBS All Access, so I've seen Cheers like 4 times, and uh-oh, here comes Sebus. What's his name? Sebus? What's the news, Sebus? Season 2 of Tuca and Birdie? I probably should have guessed that. Okay, Sebus, bye! See, this is actually fine because in this dimension they've invented this device that allows me to consume content at a higher rate. Basically, it encodes the episodes into visual information and directly injects them into my retina through to my brain, so I don't actually have to sit through, 10 hours of this show. I just, turn it on. See, I don't really care about this anymore. Season 1 was such a disappointment. How could you expect an improvement? Well, it kind of did improve. Instead of ranging from unwatchable to okay, Season 2 is basically all just mediocre. But it's like nothing worth talking about. There's no Trump Kid episode. There's no toxic masculinity zombies episode. It never gets to that point of being so bad that we can laugh at it. It's just kind of boring. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go through each of these episodes super quick, and I'm going to label them good, bad, or okay. It's going to be like lightning round. Here we go. It's a pretty good introduction. It doesn't quite feel the length. It doesn't have a million characters. It's a modernized premise. Not bad. Oh look, it's a simulation episode again. We literally had one of these last season. This adds nothing to anything. It's just boring. But it's not terrible. Put it in okay.
The intent is for the meaning to be interpreted for, I think, each person that watches it.
Okay, so this one's actually my favorite of the series so far. A bank robber has to escape the police by constantly switching bodies with random people on the street. It's just like a chase for the whole 40 minutes. It's really fun. The ending makes literally 0 sense because the bad guy actually wins. He gets away with it, but Jordan's monologue at the end is the same snarky like, well, today he's learned a valuable lesson. What lesson? He's ruined a handful of people's lives forever. He literally got the chief of police thrown in jail by body swapping with him. He won. What did he learn, Jordan? Anyway, the ending was dumb, but I still liked an episode. I'll put it in good. Alright, Ovation? What was Ovation? Oh, this one, okay. So a girl wants to be famous and then gets famous and then finds out that being famous is not as easy as it seems. Fame is hard. It was really predictable and boring. I'm gonna put it in bad. This one was just stupid. The characters were very annoying in this one, although it's about a group of girls in a private school and that demographic is made of probably the meanest people alive, so I guess that's fair. They're just so awful to each other. I think the lesson here is don't be 14. I can agree to that. So this was a lot like 6 Degrees of Freedom from the last season, and not just because they reuse the same sets, but because it features boring characters walking around talking about nothing. You watch them slowly get killed one by a hyper-intelligent octopus. It felt like the beginning of a sci-fi original movie, and then at the end it's like, oh no, we failed the mission, now they're gonna rise up, humanity is doomed, the octopuses are coming! And then it just ends. It was so abrupt, like nothing led up to that. It It sounds like funny bad, trust me. It was just stupid. This one was pretty good. Barbara over here was infuriating, but I actually like what it had to say. See, an alien comes down and disguises itself as this couple's long-dead daughter. And the two of them are like, yo, you're not her. We know you're not her. You are an alien. We saw you shapeshift. You're an alien. And then the alien's like, yeah, you got me. Look, we're trying to take over your planet, but for the time being, I can just be your daughter. I look and act exactly the same. And this whole episode is basically them just arguing about it until they finally just accept it in the end. It was frustrating in a good way because I could kind of picture this sort of thing happening in real life. It's like the Twilight Zone frustration. You watch the frustration because you can relate to it. Like, sure, aliens are taking over, but I want to see my daughter. Like, sure, there's a global pandemic, but I want to have a party, so I'm just gonna. That's what I'm talking about. Like, people just stop caring about things so easily. Like, on the surface, yeah, why are you just letting this alien stay with you? But if you're put in their situation, I think you might think differently. This one resonated with me. I'm putting it in good. A guy has a replica of a small, crappy town, and anything he does to it affects the real town. It's a pretty standard kind of classic Twilight Zone premise. He repairs the town, and then the lazy mayor that people didn't like at first, he starts taking all the credit for it, and then they start liking him. So long story short, the guy gets jealous and puts a tarantula on his replica to scare the mayor, which of course turns into a giant monster that the mayor gets scared of. And that's like it. That's scary, right? The Twilight Zone's scary. No. This one annoyed me, but it wasn't terrible. I'm just gonna put it in okay. It's Groundhog Day. Yep. Okay, there's one interesting aspect, and it's that we go into it not from the perspective of the person in the loop, but the love interest character who has to slowly piece together what's going on. That was kind of cool, but it still leans into the exact same cliches, like literally straight out of the Groundhog Day movie. And you pretty much just learn that this guy is a piece of crap who's such a jerk, he can't even see it after like thousands of tries, so he'll forever be lost in the loop. That's the premise. Like, what if in Groundhog Day, instead of learning to be a good person, he just starts killing people? Turns out it's stupid. Alright, last one. It's the most bizarre of the bunch. Basically, it's about consumerism in this dystopian future. Everyone in town is like ready to buy the all-new egg. Her neighbor is like, are you ready for egg? And she's like, yeah, I can't wait to buy egg. But then she starts to think, wait, Ellen, why do we want egg? And then Ellen's like, I'm calling the police. And then she gets abducted. And the aliens tell her, you must buy egg. And in the twist of the century, it turns out the eggs were actually eggs that are going to hatch aliens to take over the world. I remember reading an article before the season came out, like, we're gonna see the return of the to serve man aliens. The Flabberbians, or whatever they're called. They really just don't get it. They don't get what we're looking for in a Twilight Zone show. Nobody's like, oh, I can't wait to see if Tiny Tina, Talking Tina comes back. Like, that's not what we're looking for, man. That sums it all up, really. Like, this season was just trying to be scary or just being uninteresting. So, yeah. I guess it did improve. From a statistical standpoint, this season had better episodes overall. I looked at the IMDb rankings. The problem is that we sort of graduated from laughably bad to boringly bad. So there's like nothing to say, it's just, well, okay. Can't really recommend it. But yeah, averaging out the ratings from each episode by all the IMDb users, Season 1 averages out to be a 5.7 out of 10. Season 2 is a 6.3. Baby steps. Although it should be noted that Season 1's episodes were rated by about 2,500 each on IMDb, but Season 2's were rated by about 500. Something tells me viewership was down. Besides, Jordan Peele has kind of moved on in the TV world. He's working on that new show, Lovecraft Country. Have you seen that? On HBO, Lovecraft Country? That show is cool. I highly recommend it if you're into it. Save us! You'll never make me see this. I hope Disney buys